Hi, everyone. We've been thinking about a lot about what we want to share and also some tips that we want to give that we've learned on our journey of being broken, but staying brave. And for me, one of the main things I know we've got different ways of dealing with disasters, was to feel and be aware of the abundance everywhere in the world. Everywhere I go, when I walk, I'm just aware of all the blossoms. I'm aware of the beautiful trees. I'm aware of people and always give them a smile. I just create abundance and a vibration almost of feeling good by just giving little things. And there was that time when we had no money. So it wasn't like we could do acts of kindness that actually were financial acts of kindness. It was more when we walked, giving a smile to every single person, noticing. Paul's extremely good at noticing if somebody drops something, or he's always aware of what everyone else is doing. He's being an ex-detective. He just sees what's happening around him. And he's always the first person to help people and run into a situation and help. So by giving back, you actually receive so much more. And I think that's one of the things when you're down, very down, it's about not just staying in your home, getting out, giving to others in even the smallest little way, and also putting things into your mind that are going to lift you. So reading stories about other people who've hit rock bottom, other people who've had success after absolute disasters, and not allowing yourself to become a victim of your circumstances and letting those circumstances define you. So, what do you think? What would be your tip?
Yeah, well, we've both had probably three really major disasters in our lives. And I think everybody goes through these. And but some of the things that I've learned is that not to live in the past, and I let go of the past, and I now live in the now. And I found that really beneficial for myself. Because before, when I had the nervous breakdown, I was going through all the past things that caused me to have the nervous breakdown, and then the funny thing is, I kept on doing the same program over and over and over again. I kept on repeating it, and until I had to learn how to change those programs. So one of the things I learned, I had to forgive myself for the things that I've done in my life, but also I had to forgive others for the things that they've said and done to me. So that's probably my biggest thing, is the forgiveness for me was my biggest thing that I had to learn. But I had lots of other things as well, and it's a never-ending journey. So I'm still learning, still growing, and it's a life full of personal development and changes.
So, my tip was finding the abundance in life and finding the joy, just even the little joys. And yours is definitely not letting your past define you. And the other one, forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a huge one. And not repeating those programs. Oh my goodness, don't we all do that? And I find that happens to me during the night. I'll wake up and I'll be thinking about something that's happened and maybe regretting it. And I have to very quickly change those thoughts. So my little trick is actually to rise above myself, to see myself from above. That sounds weird, but I float above myself, look down on myself and say, there you go again, Suzanne. Change that thought. That's not helpful, what you're thinking. And that really helps. I talk to myself, and it's slightly crazy.
Yeah, she does.
But it's that, I call her nagging Nelly, this voice I've got in my head. And don't we all have those voices? And if you say you haven't, then you must have reached nirvana, because truly that voice comes in, particularly when there's worries going on, and that there's that voice, and it's that little small voice that is absolutely of no use to you. It's not at all positive. It's not going to help your life. So I talk to Nelly and I tell her to Please go away. I do not need to hear her. And then I change the thoughts that are in my head. So I hope that helps. That sounds quite mad, but it does work for me. I love the way you shake your head, but it's just, and it's being conscious of your thoughts. That's the thing. And I remember once reading that you can't hold two thoughts in your mind at the same time. And I thought, I love that, because I'll change that negative thought to a positive one and hold that positive one in my mind rather than the negative. So I hope that helps. So that's a few of our tips. And the other thing is just, yes, not being the victim to your circumstances. And that can so often happen. I had a terrible armed robbery in London. And whilst I was going through this horrible experience, it lasted 2.5 hours and it was brutal. And I just had a baby. So I was very, very vulnerable. 3 men came into my house and attacked me. And it was everything you can think about and more. It was absolutely revolting what happened, but I got away with my life. And all the time I kept thinking, I will remember you. I looked at them. If I survive this, I will remember you and you will pay for this. I will not let this define the rest of my life. And I kept saying that to myself really powerfully, giving myself these thoughts that I was going to survive this and I would remember them. And this was not going to, they were not going to take me down. They were not going to destroy the joy I'd been feeling 2 hours before at the birth of my new baby. They were not going to destroy that for me. So that took a lot of willpower, a lot of counseling as well, I have to say, over the years. But now I can tell you about it. I couldn't talk about that for a long, long time, for years afterwards. But the good thing is they did get caught because of my identikit pictures at Scotland Yard. And they all went to prison. And they went to prison for 10 years. And the detective who was dealing with my case, he had just had a baby with his wife and had a lot of sympathy for what I was going through, and actually said, you can be sure when those guys go to prison, it will not be easy for them, because apparently the other prisoners do not like that, attacking somebody so vulnerable. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I left England after that. So that's how big it was for me. It was huge. I had to leave my own country. But I didn't let it define me. I can tell you about it now. And I've lived by myself for years afterwards. And yeah, I'm fine. You don't. I'm fine.
Well, yeah, that's a really good point, because your past does not equal your future. So your destiny is in your hands, and it's up to you whether you choose to, live in the past or stay in the past, or live in the now, or focus on the future and that as well. Suzanne and myself, we both do different things. Suzanne does gratitudes. I do affirmations, and we both sit down and we do our goals and our business goals together. We also do vision boards and that sort of thing. But the most important thing that I've found, in the 72 years on this planet, is to make sure you have a positive mindset. And that's what I had to do, was change the programs that I had, because I kept on making the same mistakes over and over and over and again. And I was tested to see how courageous I was, to see whether I really did want to move forward and change. Because if you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to get the same results. And that's what I say to people now. Just think over your last 5 years. If you want to get the same results, you have to change, because if you don't change, you're going to keep on getting the same results. So, and changing is hard, because we get into a routine, but it's also a program that we pick up when we were, like 6 or 7 or 8 years of age. And these programs last forever. Like our brain is like a computer. It remembers everything from the past and all the old things that have happened to you. But as people, unfortunately, we focus on all the negative things. And then if you focus on the negative things, Suzanne and herself, we do a lot of counseling with our business partners and all that sort of stuff. So, one of the major things we teach them is letting go of the past and having a positive mindset, which is so, so important. I know you love doing that, because you're working with some brilliant women, business entrepreneurs and that sort of thing. So I know that's your joy and your passion.
Yes, I love it. And I love listening to language. People give you clues on how they're feeling about life, and you'll hear their pattern. And it's happened actually to us recently. We've heard two people tell us that they've run out of luck. They've run out of luck, and they're, in their 50s, and it's almost like it's kind of this feeling of, oh, there's a bucket of luck that I was given it, and I've run out of it. It's empty. And it's such a negative way of looking at the world. And I understand where that's coming from, because bad things have been happening to them, and it feels like one thing after another, after another, after another. But my goodness, if we'd felt like that, we would never have got off our knees. We'd still be on our knees going, oh, we've run out of luck. Well, that's it. And it's not true. There's amazing things just around the corner for you. If you believe, you have to pull yourself out of that dark space, those dark thoughts, and start by helping others. If you can't help yourself, help others, because by doing that, you're going to feel good. I promise you, it'll be just something small. And the other thing I was very aware of at one point is how in this world, people are always complaining. They're complaining about the weather, they're complaining about their mothers, they're complaining about their job, they're complaining about the banks, they're complaining about the politicians, and they're complaining about a lot of things they actually can't control. And then writing letters of complaint to businesses, which often that is not the person that receives the letter that's been the problem, it's the business and the way it's set up. So I really started giving people appreciation. When something lovely happened, I would appreciate them. And people are shocked. They stop when they do that. And I did it at the airport recently. There was this young girl, heavily tattooed, and she looked amazing, colorful. And she was laughing with a friend of hers. And she served me a cup of tea. And I just said, it is so nice to listen to your laugh. You are just glorious. You're such a beautiful young woman, and you should have seen her face. I'd said like 2 sentences, and I guarantee it would have changed the day. And I guarantee she won't forget it, because I remember the things that have been said to me. I'm sure you all do. Think about the times when somebody's done an act of kindness to you. You don't forget it. So why aren't we all doing this for each other all the time? And I've watched my little granddaughter. Savi's good at this.
Yeah, she's good.
She sees people, we'll be walking to her school, and she'll see somebody with bright red lipstick on sitting at the bus stop. And she'll actually go up to them and say, your lipstick looks so beautiful. And maybe this person has the lipstick all over there. I mean, it's a mess. But Savi doesn't see that. She sees that this person has put a bright color on her face. And you should see their faces. It's amazing. And we see it again and again and again, the joy when somebody makes a comment. And maybe that person, nobody's spoken to them for days. We don't know. And yeah, it's just appreciation of people and things and life and the wonder and the miracles that are all around us, rather than finding the negative. And believe me, you do not run out of luck.
Yeah.
You do not run out of fortune. Yeah. Fortune is always there to bless us.
Yeah. You're a master of random acts of kindness, and I see the people's reactions sometimes, and they don't know that you do it anonymously. So, but we've heard feedback from what you've done. So, what are some of the best ones that you've done?
Oh my goodness! Then I'm letting out the people know I've done them.
So yes, I forgot about
we've
that.
been all together.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we were in a restaurant not long ago, and we're sitting in this restaurant. This group of young kids came and sat at a table next to us. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And they were trying to work out what they're going to eat and how much it was going to cost. And you could tell that it was a big thing for them.
A struggle.
It was a struggle to try and work it all out, and hoping they hadn't overspent, and working out the menu.
There's about 6 of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
6 of them. Yeah.
And as we left, I just nudged Paul, and we said to the cafe owner, the restaurant owner, I see the table over there, we'll pay their bill too. And he looked He said, do you know them? Are they your family? I was, no, we don't know them. We just want to pay their bill. We actually almost had to argue with him about why we were paying the bill. We tried to keep it anonymous from the table. Anyway, they were busy chatting and they didn't realize. We have no idea the impact that will have had. But I know the impact it had on the restaurant owner, because he'd never had anything like that happen before. And he was really delighted and shocked by the act. And for us, we had to get out of that restaurant as quickly as possible before they realized that the bill had been paid. We didn't want them to ask for the bill, and we're still talking to the restaurant owner on, yes, no, we don't know these people. We definitely want to add it to our bill. So it's lots of fun doing something like that.
Yeah.
It really is. And we can do it now. But a few years ago, there was no way. We could have bought somebody's cup of coffee. That was about it. But we really couldn't do the big ones now.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. But what about when we were in Belize with David Wood?
oh gosh, yes.
That was a
exciting.
classic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he did find out that that wasn't
knew.
anonymous.
No, it wasn't anonymous.
Yes.
But yeah.
So there was this young man in Belize, and his parents had passed away.
Yeah. He was looking after his brothers
and sisters. He was
Yeah.
the big brother, and he worked on Dave's Island. And was he living with the grandma was looking after him, I think.
The kids. Yeah.
And they had nowhere to live. And Dave was saying, well, what about if we buy them a house? And look, this is on an island in Belize. So it wasn't $7 million like it was in Sydney. No. But it was still a substantial amount of money, and particularly for people in Belize. It was a house for the rest of his life. And we bought the house for him. And
with Dave.
Yeah. So that's life-changing. Dave still talks about that. But there was never any question of, no, we're not going to do it. And I don't know if I think he knew that it was us. But we left the island, so we didn't really have a chance to say goodbye to us.
We've never seen him again.
We've never seen him again, but we always ask Dave Wood how he's going. So we know he's happy. The children have grown up. Still living. His grandma lives at the house now. So the nice thing is you don't always know. I like to do things anonymously, and I'll tell you why. Because if you give an act of kindness to somebody, then the other person often feels that they should give something back to you. They feel indebted to you and obliged. And I don't like someone to have that feeling. I want to completely surprise someone and disappear. And I've done it a few times overseas. We've done it lots of times, and I've had it done to me, and that was an amazing thing when somebody did this incredible act of kindness for me in a coffee shop at an airport. I think it was in Florida, actually. Can't remember now. The airport doesn't count, but this man had been telling me about this very special coffee they had and this dessert at this shop. And I was between flights, a little bit tired, wasn't thinking. And when it came, he was before me, and we had this lovely chat. Off he went. And then when I got it was my turn, the lady gave me a coffee in a bag, and I said, "What's this? I haven't ordered anything." He said, "It's a gift from the man in front. He thought he really wanted you to try this pastry and drink the coffee and wishes you well." And I couldn't find him then to say goodbye to, because it was a crowd of people and he'd gone. So I know what it feels like too. It's so joyful, and it doesn't have to be grand. Even if you pick some flowers and put them on somebody's doorstep with a little note saying, "Just wanted to make your day," or whatever. People need you. People need you. They need us. People need us. Every one of us. We are not lone people. We're not lone figures. We love community. It's important to human beings, and it's really important we take care of each other. That's my little lesson for today.
Well, there's one big one. What about Dolma Yankee?
Oh, that's another story. That's a whole podcast.
That's a whole podcast.
And we won't talk about
we won't share that one.
No, we will do though another day.
It's an amazing story.
I'll cry otherwise.
It's an amazing story of how one little act of kindness can change somebody's life forever.
Yeah.
And that's a really big one. But that is really big share.
And it wasn't it's not.
It wasn't.
There's been some secrets involved, and that's why it's a hard one to put up, because I don't want it to know the whole truth.
Yes,
but we will share one day with everybody.
Yeah, but it's now she's changing people's lives from around the world, isn't she?
Yes.
You know, so
that's enough.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. So this has been great having a chat, and just hope you've learned something from us and whatever we've shared. But this is a never-ending journey. If you want to change where you're at right now, you have to let go of the past and virtually reprogram your brain and let it go. Sometimes we work with people that have had like really bad experiences, like sexual assaults and when they were younger, and kids and that. And if you don't change that program, I'll give you a quick example. There's been a couple of women that we've been working with that have been sexually assaulted when they were younger, and virtually we talk to them, and they keep on doing the same program over and over again. That they'll leave one person, the very next person they meet is somebody else that does the same thing, abuse them. It could be physically, it could be mentally, it could be emotionally, but they keep on meeting the same people over and over and over again. So it's very important. These programs are really deep seated, and but they can be changed. So we will do another one on how to change that as well. So we'll do another podcast on how to change your programs that you have. And but it is a never-ending journey. And Suzanne and myself, we both still get tested to see how courageous we are. Okay, you think you've got this beat? Here, let's try this one. Throw a loop at you, or a hurdle at you. So so I'll let you finish off.
So it's just being aware is really, really important. Being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your excuses, and be aware of change, how you want to see yourself. Who do you want to be? Who are you? Who do you want to be? Live up to your full potential. Do you want to be a victim, forever saying, I had an abusive marriage, I'm a single mother, all the terrible things that happen to us, I've lost a baby, I've had a brutal armed robbery on our foreheads? Do we want to do that? Or do we want to change those things, having lived through them, but let other people know that you can survive, you will survive, when you have an awareness of who you are? And I think that's really, really important. You want to be the hero of your life journey. Life isn't very long. I can tell you, suddenly we're in our 70s. I have no idea how that's happened. I have no idea. I feel like I'm 20. And truly, I can't believe that I'm the age I am. It's really hard. But when I look back, it's gone so fast. And it's been like an incredible movie about something I've watched about somebody. And yes, of course, I've made mistakes. Yes, of course, I've got regrets. Yes, of course, I've cried a river. I'm a human. You have too. We've gone through the most terrible things, but everybody does. We're humans. We go, and unless you want to put yourself in a cave for 70 years and just live there, you're still going to have experiences. A snake will probably come in the cave, or a leopard, or who knows what's going to happen. But life is messy. And as soon as we can accept that and have an awareness that it's messy, and the lessons we're going through are there to teach us. They're not given as lessons to destroy us. They're given lessons for us to find the hero within ourselves, the shiro.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, most people go to their graves and they never, ever reach their full potential. So, we don't want to do that. We want to reach our full potential. We want to see all the adventures, do all the adventures. We want to travel around the world and have new experiences and that as well. So we'll be sharing lots of more information, and it's been great being on the call.
Yeah, so. Great to talk to you all. And don't give any power to your excuses. Bye.